So today we've got the Rotel RVC230, and this is one of my favourite sets. We used to use this as, not this particular one, but used to use a Rotel 230 as a reference set back in the 80s. Before we started using Midland 78 plus multis, and I tell you what, I think we'll be going back to these because I'm very satisfied with the way it works even after all these years. Anyway, Mr Chippie should be outside, so we'll give him a call. We're doing the usual range test. He goes 6.5 miles in the wrong direction, the wrong side of a hill, through a railway cutting, down an embankment, through trees, and the idea is to make it as difficult as possible. Tango 21 calling Mr Chippie.
Mr Chippie receiving, over.
Are you ready to move off?
Roger, just moving off from the lay-by down the lane.
Roger, loud and clear. So the relatively basic set, volume, squelch, RF gain, tone high low, and the front panel 10 decibel transmitter attenuator on the front panel, which was the requirement under Pt3 1320, and he's sadly missed because when you're in a convoy, 4 watts is far too powerful. You end up overloading front ends, especially if there's no RF gain. Just to be able to flick it to low power to 0.4 watts is very, very handy indeed. So it's a high-end set really, and you know, it's the same innards as the York 863 and the Rotel 240, but with less knobs. And
Mr Chippie, just passing the Ancaster service station.
Tango 21, Mr Chippie, got you loud and clear at the petrol station. So he's now a mile away at the petrol station. So I think they were underappreciated, but and they've got one more IF circuit, if I remember rightly, than the 2-knob version, you know, like the Rotel 220 or the York 861, and the other good sets which escape people's attention, like the Harvard.
Just coming up to Ancaster Crossroads.
Got you at Ancaster Crossroads, like the Harvard 420M, I think is underappreciated. Binatone Speedway uses the same chassis as well. Tango 21 got you at the quarry. He's not in the normal test vehicle. They all perform the same. They've got exactly the same setup, which is Les Wallen modulator, aerials drilled into the centre of the roof, Midland 78 plus multis.
That's the top of the hill before we go down into Wilsford.
Roger, got you at the top of the hill. So they are all set up the same. The two Hyundais are slightly taller cars, so we tend to use the two.
Take it you receive me then, have the squelch too high over.
Yes, that was loud and clear, thank you.
Alright.
I will just check I was on high power there. It's just seeing his squelch dropped out. He's now about 2 miles away and he's going the wrong side of a hill. So the Nissan and the Toyota we have are quite a bit lower on the ground cars. And he's in the Toyota today.
The Tango 21 just going around Scratchy Corner, Wilford.
Yep, got you at Scratchy Corner, and there's a bit of scratchiness, but that's what Scratchy Corner is all about.
Roger, Roger.
So he's now on the wrong side of the hill, right down at the bottom, just going around the village of Wilsford. So it's as bad as it gets for radio. And then he should come up again at the level crossing. And after the level crossing, as he goes through a cutting, and you've got rock either side, this is where a lot of the new sets don't work anymore. And it's so disappointing that their own internally generated noise is actually greater than his signal. But sets like this, I mean, we've got usable receive down to 0.15 microvolts on this.
That's going over Wilford level crossing.
I got you loud and clear at Wilsford level crossing.
Passing the junction of Rotel and then Kelby over.
Roger, got you at the Kelby Wilsford one.
Right, so it's crashed into the sign there, the Kelby turner. Knocked it down.
Oh, it's like that, is it? It's a Sunday afternoon and you see the debris of smashed up cars from the night before.
Right, crossing in the turn for Grayley.
Roger, got you for Grayley's.
Tango 21, just going across the level crossing at Rotel.
Roger, got you at the level crossing at Rawsby, so that concludes the test.
Roger.
And there's nothing to test on the way back, that's you can come straight back.
Roger.
So, my opinion hasn't changed. I still think these are cracking sets. And I think we'll be swapping all the car sets to Rotel 230s like we did we had in the 80s. I know they're a bit bulky, but they just work so well. And I don't need 80 channels, and I don't need scan. So there you have it, the Rotel RVC230 from 1981.